Hi, this is Dee-Dee Devon of Divine Intervention, Lifestyle and Nutrition Health Coaching. I feel like I finally found the right lighting in my house to do my little videos. Um, so we're almost finished, one more day. Anyways, I hope you're finding more flow and peace in your week as we're still getting used to our new normal here. And pray at least that your fear and anxiety have lessened as you are learning to face this crisis with more curiosity and compassion. As I've said before, crisis is not the enemy, it's the invitation. And it's not necessarily what's happening to us, but it's what we make it mean about us. So, as we can't help but transform, I want to continue to share with you another transformational coaching technique on how to master your anxiety and fear. Today is tip number 9, and I'll be finishing up this series I started tomorrow with tip number 10. And you can find all of the other previous techniques I've shared back in this feed or on my YouTube channel. Today's technique is called parts work. And I've already shared a similar but different take on this technique, but because it's such an integral part of who we are, I wanted to elaborate on it a little bit more. So let me just give you a little context. We all have many parts. For example, we've all had the experience where a part of us wants to go to the gym and there's a part of us that wants to stay home and binge on Netflix. There's a part of us that wants to eat healthy and another part of us wants to eat macaroni and cheese. Similarly, with anxiety and fear, we can notice that a part of us might feel anxiety while simultaneously noticing that other parts of us, even though they may be playing in the background, other parts of us feel strangely okay even in these uncertain moments. That there's some flicker that might seem far away or even inaccessible, but some deep-seated knowing like, okay, after I get over my freak out, I'm going to stand up and face this, whatever this is. This awareness, even that flicker, is like breadcrumbs for a calmer nervous system. So let's just do a quick exercise so you can experience your parts. Lately, some parts of you might be feeling anxiety and fear about the future. Now, your imagination is very, very active. You may have noticed just how creative your imagination has become about things that have not actually happened yet, right? So, to do anxiety really well, you have to have a great imagination. And perhaps lately, some of you have been getting better and better at exercising your imagination, getting really skilled at anxiety is a skill set, actually. And something I want to clarify is that anxiety is really caused by a series of thoughts that we keep on believing. And the beliefs are just thoughts that we keep on thinking. And anxiety is a series of negative thoughts strung together, usually about things that haven't happened yet. So just observe, what are the thoughts? Maybe not you, but someone like you. What are the thoughts that someone might think that go along with the experience of anxiety? So they might think, I won't do too many of these right now, but they could think, oh my gosh, I'm going to get this virus and then I'm not going to be able to work and then I'm going to have a financial impact and then I'll have to move and then. It's like a series of stacking against ourselves. And this is a very important distinction because if we were to open up your body, we would not find any matter called anxiety. You can't point to it. You can't locate it. Where is it? Show me where it is. What shape is it? You can't find it. So what is it really? It's a thinking process that creates confusion between being okay and I'm totally screwed. Anxiety is that seesaw. I'm okay, I'm totally screwed. This is called a parts conflict. A part of us has a thought train running nowhere good fast. Get that? And if we could put that momentum back on the other track, the one that anticipates a brighter future, for example, if we can put the momentum back on the other track, we can lessen the anxiety, and on the other track is anticipating good things to come. So, what is something that you can start anticipating of what good might come from this? I know there's a lot of hardships, and I'm not trying to minimize or bypass how hard it is. I know that the struggle is real. Right now, we're in a period of uncertainty and a lot of rapid change, and you're all doing a beautiful job. Even if you thought you were going to do this homeschooling thing perfect, and you thought you were going to eat healthy now and exercise every day, and yet you find yourself eating macaroni and cheese in the shower. Like, you're doing great, okay? So give yourself a break for a moment. But if you just access that part of you that could anticipate that something wonderful might be on its way to come from this kind of reinvention. A few of those things that people might realize is how important their health is finally. Reconnecting with old friends via video chats, finally having time to work on a project or spring clean or read a book because you don't have to spend so much time commuting. I see so many people coming together to help each other. So it will cause people like to reevaluate like what's important and want to live their best life. And these are pretty good outcomes. So you can see how it's starting to build in the positive direction. We don't know what the future holds. However, we can reduce the psychological suffering by 99.99.99% by ceasing to imagine bad things that have not happened yet, and to get aligned with the part of us that actually knows that deep down that we will get through this, that we can do this. There will be hard moments. We will struggle. Sometimes we'll slip and we'll fall off track. We will snowball a little bit, and then we'll pick ourselves up, we'll dust ourselves off, and we'll get back on the right track. So let's turn our attention towards the part of us that knows deep down, if only a bare flicker, that part of us knows this, that we will survive because it's in our instinct. Let your thought patterns work for a brighter future rather than against you. And you can say, thank you to that part of you that feels fear and anxiety and uncertain times. It's a natural instinct response to fear the unknown. But the unknown could be wonderful. So just saying, thank you so much fear, thank you so much fear and anxiety for being on the payroll for so long and looking out for me and worrying about all these things. And I'm going to face the challenge in front of me, whatever comes, and when I need support, I will ask. So we can see that there are parts and we can work with these different parts. Breath. A couple of good coaching questions that go along with this, and you can ask yourself, are what are the thoughts or the thought series that go with a feeling of I'm okay? We talked about how anxiety is a series of thoughts. Well, so is anticipation of the good. So is the I'm okay. So what are the thoughts that go with the feelings of I'm okay? And then what are the feelings? So first was thoughts. Now I'll address what are the feelings that go with the perception of I'm okay. And finally, we'll get to the actions. So we did thoughts, feelings, and actions. What are 3 actions, or I like to call them baby steps, that I can do that will feed the experience of I'm okay? In other words, what would I see you doing when you're embracing the part of you that instinctively knows that I'm okay. I will figure out how to get through this, one breath at a time. So, thoughts, feelings, actions. What are the thoughts that go with the feelings of I'm okay? And this is a muscle, you guys. It may not be a habit yet. We've got to practice it. We've got to exercise it like any muscle. We're very prone to worry and fear and anxiety. And it's time for us to pull back our attention from that and deliberately choose to shine our flashlight on the thoughts that create the feelings of I'm okay. I'm safe. I am loved. I was doing a similar parts work scenario with a client the other day, and I asked her this question. What are the thoughts that go with the feeling that I'm okay? And she said, well, like acknowledging that I have food, I have water, I have shelter, and even in this time of physical distancing, I'm connected to a great community of people online. And I asked, how does that make you feel when you think those thoughts? And she replied instantly, I feel safer, like I'm not alone. I remember I'm not alone. Part of my anxiety is feeling like I'm all alone in this, and so I feel safer that I'm not alone. I don't have to hold it all myself. And then we can say, great, and continue. What are some other thoughts that go with the feeling of I'm okay? So now we're stacking more thoughts in the direction of I'm okay. And she said, well, there's just a part of me that wants to collapse and hide and just pray for some rescue, that there's going to be some answer, that the government will handle this, and like someone will have the vaccine. And there's another part of me that is actually just really proud of how I'm figuring out homeschooling and our new financial reality, and trusting that this is all temporary and I'm going to create reinvention, but in ways that I can't foresee yet, but that it might actually work for us better. So now, there's a series of thoughts that create the feelings of fear and anxiety, but you are not those thoughts. This brings me back to what I was saying earlier, like the story that I'm telling myself, right? That's the same kind of framework. You might even congratulate yourself for having such a wild imagination. And now you know that there's also a series of thoughts that create the feelings of I'm okay. So I want to ask you, which thought series feels better? The feeling of fear and anxiety, or the thought theory series that creates the feeling of I'm okay and I've got this? I love parts work because it's reminding me of the reality that there are multiple parts of us and that two things can be true. It's like we're a paradox. We're a walking paradox. It's like a world of simultaneouslys. I think about that in the context of part of me feels anxious and part of me knows I'm going to survive. But there's also this thing where people will say, regardless of whether you're in a crisis or not, they're going to say, fake it until you make it. And I get frustrated with that because it's like, no, it's part of you is scared and a part of you feels like you can do it. You're just putting your attention on the part that thinks you can do it versus the part of you that feels scared. It's not faking it. There is generally a part of you that feels like, hey, maybe I can do this. Maybe it's a small part, but you're not faking anything. You're just putting your attention on that part. I think parts work is like one of the coolest, most amazing, brain-blowing parts of transformation and coaching. So to wrap this up, I just so appreciate your level of attention and engagement in joining me here today. And I'm going to complete here, and I'll be back tomorrow with my final tip. And again, you can find all of my previous tips, tools, and techniques back in this feed or on my YouTube channel. Good day and namaste.